Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Teenager seemed to have vanished into thin air. However, the police officer's sharp instincts and quick thinking led them straight to Isaac's doorstep, where he was finally apprehended. Isaac may have thought he outran the law, but justice ultimately caught up with him. Number 16. The Great Escape Artist. Notorious for his multiple prison breaks, a cunning murderer once again slipped through the cracks of the law by persuading a police officer that he was simply a jogger out for a run. But that's not the only bizarre part of this story. Richard Lee McNair, the mastermind of escape artistry, has evaded capture not once, not twice, but 3 times. This cunning man should be named the Great Escape Artist after pulling off a series of daring escapes. In one astonishing incident, McNair convinced a police officer that he was simply out for a morning jog, using his charm and wit to talk his way out of trouble. But that's not all. He did not only use his charming personality to elude the police, but he'd also escaped from prison through a mailbox, literally mailing himself out of prison. McNair's ingenious escape tactics left law enforcement stunned, and he remained on the run for over a year before finally being apprehended again. His brazen escapes have given him a place in the annals of criminal history, earning him a reputation as one of the most elusive and resourceful fugitives of all time. Number 15. San Diego Showdown. With police sirens blaring in the distance, an unknown suspect pulled off a dramatic showdown, abruptly leaving the southbound San Diego freeway and leaving authorities hot on his trail. The high-stakes pursuit began in Glendale when police attempted to pull over the suspect for a minor infraction, but the driver refused to yield, instead hitting the gas and sparking a thrilling chase as he ran away from the authorities at 100 miles per hour. With sirens blaring and lights flashing, the suspect weaved in and out of traffic, showing no signs of slowing down, even driving with headlights off at times, making the chase even more intense and perilous as law enforcement officers pursued the suspect both on the ground and in the air. The pursuit was a real-life action movie with twists and turns that kept everyone on the edge of their seat. Despite the valiant efforts of law enforcement, the suspect managed to outrun the police, leaving behind a trail of excitement and disbelief. Number 14. Brazen Break for Freedom. Diego Jose Zayas Martinez, 28, appeared in court before Judge Robin Green, who ordered him to be held in jail on charges of making a terrorist threat and assault. The judge also raised his bond to $100,000 during the hearing, as Zayas Martinez and other inmates were being escorted to the transport bus at the Benton County Courthouse. He made a sudden break for freedom. With his hands cuffed but his legs free, he dashed past a stunned deputy and raced out of the courthouse. One officer gave chase, but Zayas Martinez's initial speed proved too great. The second police officer wanted to follow suit but decided to wait with the other inmates. He jumped a fence, fleeing east on Northeast 2nd Street, managing to evade capture, at least for a few hours. His thrilling escape was finally brought to an end when he was discovered hiding under a woman's house, bringing an end to his brief but spontaneous bid for freedom. Number 13. Unaware Policeman. Police officers are seen battering down the door with unrelenting fervor, their determination and grit evident in the force they use in knocking down the door. But little do they know, the cunning fugitive is lying in wait, poised like a cheetah ready to pounce, executing a daring and audacious escape plan. As the officers focus their energies on breaching the door with a mighty and powerful ram, the suspect seizes the perfect moment to make a run for it. His quick thinking and agility, allowing him to leap from the window above with the grace of a ninja, landing with precision on the ground below, and sprinting into the streets with lightning-fast speed, leaving the oblivious policeman to storm into an empty room. Their quarry vanished into thin air like a phantom slipping through their fingers. Number 12. Corey Roan's desperate dash. Surrounded by a remarkably low security detail, Corey Roan sits in the third-floor Muskogee County courtroom, making a bold and audacious attempt at escape. Seizing an opportune moment, Roan makes a break for freedom, sprinting past his attorney and sparking a high-stakes chase. 3 courtroom officers give pursuit, hot on his heels as he races down the stairs to the first floor. Roan blasts past an unattended security desk and sets his sights on the courthouse exit. With one lone deputy standing between him and liberty, Roan shows no signs of slowing, taking the deputy down with him as they crash into a metal detector. In the chaos, Roan manages to escape into the parking lot, but not without injuring the deputy in the process. Number 11, parkour getaway. To possess the mental agility to leap above rooftops and the cunning to outsmart law enforcement requires a remarkable blend of bravery, quick thinking, and physical prowess. And this parkour enthusiast, who was simply having a typical day shooting videos, demonstrated that he possesses all of these qualities in abundance. His audacious actions caught the attention of the police officers, who approached him with the intention of questioning him. But in a stunning display of daring and agility, the parkour enthusiast suddenly turned and sprinted away from the officers, leaping off the roof and landing gracefully on the stairs. The distance he covered was too great for the police to keep up, and the young man emerged onto the street, triumphant and elated, with a broad smile on his face, basking in the thrill of his impressive escape. Number 10, a fun game of hide and seek. The old adage, what you're looking for is right in front of you, is about to take on a whole new meaning in this hilarious video. A suspect trying to evade the long arm of the law tries to outwit the law by hiding in plain sight. The suspect, seen initially running away, quickly thinks on his feet and ducks behind a blue car, leaving the police officers scrambling to locate him. The officers, oblivious to the fact that their suspect is mere inches away, are seen frantically searching high and low, running hither and yon in a desperate bid to apprehend their elusive target. But thanks to the keen eye of a helicopter overhead, the sneaky suspect is finally spotted, and the police are able to close in and make the arrest. Number 9, catch me if you can. Accused murderer Eddie Villalobos made a daring escape from an Oregon courthouse during his pre-trial, outrunning law enforcement in a shocking turn of events. Security cameras captured Villalobos being escorted into the courtroom by 2 officers who had removed his leg shackles and handcuffs in accordance with state law. The law requires that accused individuals be unrestrained in front of a jury to ensure a fair trial, but in this case, Villalobos seized the opportunity to avoid justice. In the blink of an eye, Eddie Villalobos reverted to his criminal instincts. With swift agility, he sprang to his feet and made a break for the rear door, dashing through the first-floor corridors and bursting out a restricted staff exit, as 2 deputies hastened in pursuit, hot on his heels. Despite 2 brief sightings, Villalobos managed to evade capture, sparking a widespread manhunt involving the sheriff's deputies, drones, and 2 local police departments. Number 8, from handcuffs to getaway. Alonso Perez executed a daring escape from the Detective Bureau, managing to slip free from his handcuffs and climb up into the drop ceiling. Although security cameras captured the incident, unfortunately, no one was monitoring the footage at the time. Earlier, Perez had been secured in the interrogation room, with both his feet and hands shackled, a precautionary measure taken by police officers to prevent any potential risks. Alonso Perez leveraged his body weight to exert maximum force on the chain, linking his handcuff to the interrogation room table, strategically twisting it until it snapped. With his hands now free, he redirected his attention to the ceiling, devising a clever escape plan. He positioned a chair against the wall, using it as a makeshift ladder to access the rafters. From there, he climbed into the rafters and exited the building. In a stunning stroke of luck, Perez stumbled upon an unattended truck, with the engine still running, seized the opportunity, and made a swift escape. Meanwhile, the police officers remained oblivious to his departure for a full 40 minutes, only realizing he was gone after a significant delay. However, their persistence paid off, and Perez was eventually apprehended 4 days later, bringing an end to his brief but daring escapade. Number 7, runaway damsel. Tasha Faye Sponsler was about to pull off a stunning feat. After a citizen reported a shoplifting incident, police arrived on the scene to apprehend Tasha, but in a turn of events, they left her unattended in the police car, only for her to make a daring escape. Despite being secured in the Lufkin police cruiser with handcuffs, Tasha astonishingly managed to slip free and climb through the window partition to gain access to the front seat. She seized control of the vehicle, expertly shifting it into high gear and speeding away, leaving nearby police officers stunned and bewildered. Her bold and daring feat was a show of a high-stakes magic trick, defying all odds and expectations. Sponsler embarked on a perilous high-speed pursuit, reaching speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, according to police reports. The perils of the chase finally came to an end in Zavala when a Texas Department of Public Safety trooper skillfully executed a pursuit intervention technique, causing Sponsler to lose control of the vehicle and crash. Number 6. Hollywood Adrenaline. A dirt bike rider in the middle of Hollywood puts on an amazing show of skill and bravery as he battles police officers in an exciting encounter, displaying his amazing riding skills and pulling off impressive stunts. Despite a few close calls, including a dramatic fall where his shoes were mere inches from him, the rider refuses to give up, quickly getting back on his bike and continuing to evade the authorities. In a clever move, he attempts to blend in with a group of motorcycle riders in the West Hollywood area, repeatedly managing to outrun and taunt the police officers who are hot on his heels. In the end, the rider successfully escapes, leaving the officers in awe of his impressive skills and wondering how he managed to outsmart them. Number 5. The Drifter. Outrunning the law in a powerful vehicle can give a suspect an advantage in a high-speed chase. A thrilling scene unfolds as two police officers pursue a blue sports car, attempting to knock it off balance or slow it down. However, the suspect showcases exceptional driving skills, deftly maneuvering the vehicle to escape the seemingly impossible situation. With precision and speed, the driver expertly drifts the car out of the tight space between the police cruiser and the roadblock, leaving onlookers in awe of the impressive feat. The suspect then takes the opportunity to demonstrate their driving prowess, engaging in a daring game of cat and mouse with the police, reminiscent of a high-stakes action movie, before drifting off. Number 4. The Smelly Hideout. In a stunning display of quick thinking and cunning, a resourceful young kid pulled off a daring escape from the law, leaving authorities and onlookers alike in utter disbelief. The kid, who had vandalized a nearby home, found himself in a dilemma when a determined police officer was hot on his heels. With the officer closing in fast, the kid spotted a trash can and made a split-second decision to dive in, holding his breath and remaining perfectly still as the officer drew near. The unsuspecting officer asked nearby witnesses, a group of girls, if they had seen the young fugitive, but they shook their heads, unaware of the kid's clever hiding spot mere feet away. Confident that the coast was clear, the officer eventually gave up the chase and left the scene, unaware that the kid was still hiding in the trash can, biding his time. 30 minutes later, when the kid was certain the officer was long gone, he emerged from his unlikely hiding place, grinning from ear to ear, and made his way home, triumphant in his clever escape. It was a brazen move that proved even the youngest of minds can outwit the law. Number 3. The Carton Caper. A suspect being hotly pursued by law enforcement pulled off an incredible evasive maneuver that even left him stunned. Desperate to evade capture, the quick-thinking individual conjured up a clever plan on the fly, deciding to transform into a human chameleon. With fast reflexes, he grabbed a nearby carton and froze in place, blending seamlessly into the surroundings like a statue. The pursuing police officer rushed into the room, thoroughly searching for any sign of the suspect, but was left wondering how he vanished as they found nothing but an empty space. The officer eventually gave up and left, completely oblivious to the fact that the suspect was hiding in plain sight, disguised as a carton. Number 2. A bold but bungled escape. Accurate head counts are crucial for prison guards, but on this occasion, a fleeting distraction proved costly. As Donald Misley and his fellow inmates entered the prison garage, he decided to try his luck and slipped away unnoticed, hiding behind a van as the others filed into the building. When the coast was clear, Misley made a daring escape attempt, speeding through the garage door with the transport van's keys still in the ignition and into a nearby wooded area. However, his luck soon ran out, and he was swiftly apprehended and returned to custody. This humorous incident